Hey guys, I don't know what I'm going to call this video yet, but hopefully I can think of a title that will accurately describe what you are about to see. I am obsessed with Profusion Cosmetics. That is the only brand that I've been buying or interested in. I do this. I get like obsessed with a particular brand and then it's very hard for me to even look at anything else. Well, right now it's Profusion. And it's funny, I was thinking back on this, and I remember when Profusion was only at places like Burlington Coat Factory, Marshall's, Five Below, but now they're at Walmart. So now it feels like they've kicked it up a notch and their quality is pretty amazing. And if you didn't see any of my other videos where I talked about this, because this is so important, if you have not tried their eyeshadow palettes with their eyeshadow primer, you might want to try it, because their eyeshadow primer is $4 and it is so good. I use this with all my eyeshadows now, any brand. And the first time that I tried one of the Walmart type Profusion palettes, I was using Makeup Revolution's eyeshadow primer at that time, and I didn't like the palette that I bought by Profusion because of it. And I didn't even realize that it was the eyeshadow primer that was causing me to not like the palette. So that palette just sat in my collection and I never used it, and eventually I decluttered it. Now, fast forward to a couple years later, and I bought the Profusion eyeshadow primer. I bought another one of their palettes and went, whoa, what happened here? So, long story short, I'm obsessed now and I want to try everything this brand does. So I went out and I bought some things, and I started off just buying a lot of their eyeshadow palettes. I think so far what you've seen in my videos is the Rubies palette, the Neon palette, the Kaleidoscope palette, and I think that's all I've showed you so far. Well, since then, I have bought the Wanderlust palette. This is what I have in my eyes right now. This is this look that I have on today. This is the third look I've done with this palette. The first look I did, I used, let me open it so you can see it better. The first look I did, I wanted to use this beautiful green shade, and I used one of these browns. I can't remember which one now I used. It's on my Instagram and Twitter accounts. These are super pigmented, and the brown that I used was like too pigmented for my skin tone. So today I just used the light one, and I went in like really, really light-handed because I was scared of it because of, you know, what happened when I used one of the other brown ones. So I think I would have enjoyed that look better if I had either gone less heavy-handed or if maybe I had used this brown instead. Then the second time I used it was in yesterday's video, or the last video that I posted before this one, I think. All I did was I used Splash on the lids, and then I used Enigma in the crease. I just did a blue look. Today I wanted to do something a little different, so like I said, I used this in the crease, and it's called Coast. I took Love Story, which is a very complex color. If you look at my lids, it's pink. It's a shimmery pink, but it's got another color in there. I can't really tell if it's gold or not, but it's really pretty. And then I just use my brow palette now for my brow bone highlight and inner corner highlight. I've talked about that before. The shimmery bone color in my Essence, It's All About Brows palette. I use that for all my looks now. But anyways, I've used this palette 3 times, and I love it, just like I do every other eyeshadow palette that I bought from them so far. Now the main reason why I bought this though is, see this slot right here? It had a brush in it. It had a blending brush. And I wanted to get that so that I could try one of their brushes to see what I thought, because you can also buy their brushes individually at Walmart. So I bought 3 of their brushes and I like them. And now I've only had them for a very short time, so I can't say yet if they're going to stain or if the bristles are going to fall out. I think you saw in one of my recent videos that the brush set that I bought from shopmissa.com that I like so much, all of a sudden the bristles started falling out. And I had been using them for a while, so I'm really confused by that, because usually if bristles are going to shed, they do it right away. And one of the brushes there, the bristles just started falling out like crazy. So kind of disappointed about that. So you can't judge brushes by only using them 1 or 2 times. You have to use them a few times and see if they're going to stain, how are they going to wash, how are they going to feel, how are they going to apply. But so far so good. I used these 3 to do my look today. I bought the ES2 Firm blending brush. I bought the ES5 flat shader brush. And I bought the ES4 small firm brush. So yeah, oh, I forgot to say this look that I have on. I do have another shade on. I have Hypnotic, which is this green right here. I did drag that along the lower lash line. So I have three shades on. But yeah, so far so good. Like I said, 3 times I've used this and I really like it. Now, I also purchased recently the Spectrum palette. This I honestly wasn't that crazy about. It's all mattes, and I just didn't feel like this one performed as well as the other palettes that I bought so far. So this one I feel like is not quite as good. I don't know, the pigments, the shadows just didn't blend quite as well. And I don't know, there was just something about it that was a little off. And then I have these, which I haven't even used yet. I'm telling you guys, I'm obsessed. I have emeralds, I have fuchsia, and I have violets. So can't wait to play with those. I bought a backup of one of the shades of foundation. I found a new way to use this foundation. By the way, I have a separate video on this if you want to watch that. It's the Profusion Feel Good Skin Foundation. I have the shades Fair 3 and Light 3, and I use this different now. What I do is I take Fair 3 and I put that all over my face. Then I go in with Light 3 and I use it like you would use a bronzer. I just do like the perimeter of my face, and I really like the way that looks, the effect it gives. I don't even use bronzer anymore now. I'm just doing that, and I love that. So I thought, okay, when the weather gets cooler and what little color I get over the summer is gone, I don't really look good with bronzer at all. It just looks fake. So what I did was I bought a backup of the fair shade because I love this foundation and I don't want to run out. I also bought a backup of the eyeshadow primer. And if you're looking for the eyeshadow primer or the foundation, keep in mind only about 1 out of every 5 Walmarts carry those products. They might have eyeshadow palettes, but they're not going to have these extra things. And same thing with the brushes. I don't think they have the brushes at every Walmart either. So check their website, because all you have to do is go on the Walmart website, type in the product you're looking for, and it will tell you exactly which stores have the products. And even though they don't carry them at certain stores, it'll just say out of stock. It won't which really the truth of the matter is they don't carry the products at that store. So don't think that they're gonna restock them at a particular store, because if it says out of stock, they don't have it there. That's just how it works. Just poor choice of words. Okay, I also bought their mascara. It's called the Profusion Lash Out Loud Mascara, and it says that it lengthens, volumizes, and lifts. I used it for the first time today, and it's okay. It didn't like blow me away or wow me, but it didn't perform badly either. I just thought that it was like okay. And I do love the packaging though. Doesn't this look high end? This looks like really fancy, almost like I had a mascara like this that was high end one time. And I want to say it was Chanel, but I don't really remember because it was so many years ago. But yeah, I love the packaging. Now, when you pull the wand out, especially if you pull it out and put it back in and you do that like a few times, look at the product like all comes out in a weird way. Believe it or not, I don't have a problem with that, because that shows me that there's in fact plenty of product in the tube. I can't stand dry mascaras. To me, that's the worst. So when I saw it doing that, I was like, oh, okay, this is going to be a really wet mascara. So I just take what's at the end of the brush and just wipe it and sort of push it back into the tube. But when I used this, like I said, it was just okay. I'm going to look up so you can see my lashes. Now keep in mind, I always use lash primer, but that's what it looks like. And so, you know, it's all right, but I can't say I recommend it. There's plenty of other mascaras out there that are better than this, so disappointed that that wasn't. I wanted it to like blow me away. I wanted like everything to be great, but yeah, not great. Okay, something that was great, that did blow me away. Look at my lips. Why doesn't anybody talk about these, guys? This is the Profusion Lip Dazzler. It is a dual-ended lipstick and lip topper. The way that it's packaged, they have like little windows. You can't really see the color because the windows are teeny tiny. And when you're in the store and you're trying to look through the windows, it's so hard to see it. And if you go on the website, I don't feel like it accurately represents what the colors really look like. So that's no help either. And it doesn't matter if you go on Profusion's website or Walmart's website. The colors don't look the same. The colors are all pretty intense. They don't have a lot of lighter shades. Most of the colors are pretty deep and dark. So from what I could see looking in the little window, this looked like it was one of the lighter ones. So it's called Daring. On the Walmart website, they call it Darling. It's a typo. It's Daring. See? Daring. So here's what you get in this one. This is what I have on my lips. And also, they don't really look on your lips like what they look like in the tube, because look at this. So it's a little bit deeper in the tube. Of course, you have to take into consideration what your lip color looks like, right? So this is the lipstick, and it's a matte lipstick, but it's not one of those ones that are going to drive you crazy, that's going to dry out your lips. It applies beautifully. And it's really pointy on the top, so you can really just follow your lip line. I did still use a lip liner just because I love lip liners. I used the e.l.f. lip liner from the Retro Paradise lip kit. This is the medium one. It comes with a light, medium, and deep. This is the medium one. I just thought this would go really perfect with this lipstick. Perfect match. So I did line and fill in my lips with the lip pencil first. Then I went in with this lipstick. Then I used the lip topper. This is what the lip topper looks like. but oh my god, so beautiful. I'm definitely gonna get more colors, although I only saw one other color that I really liked. This is what the applicator looks like. And super, super easy to put the lip topper on. Now, I thought when I bought this that maybe I would like the lipstick, but for some reason I didn't think I was going to like this lip topper. I thought it was going to be a big, goopy, glittery mess. Not at all. And these are, I want to say $5. All this stuff is super, super inexpensive. I think this was $5. I think this was $5. The foundation is only $7. The eyeshadow primers are only $4. The palettes, this size palette is only $5. This was, I think this was $10, and you get all these colors and a brush. So everything is really inexpensive. The brushes are $5. But yeah, I can't believe that people don't rave about this. This is, oh man, the way the light catches that lip topper. But like I said, it's not a big goopy mess, and it's not like super glittery. It's just pretty. I definitely need to get this in at least one more shade. I may even try some of the other shades because sometimes things will look different on than the way they appear in the packaging. I mean, you really don't know till you put it on how it's going to look unless you've had something that is exactly that same color. But even then, if the formula is different, you know? So I just wanted to do like a broad spectrum video showing you all these different things and tell you what I know so far because obsessed. Obsessed. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.